What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. As we're about 2 weeks away from No Surrender, what do we got going on this show tonight? As they still stack up the card for No Surrender coming up, huh? We kick it off right off the bat with the digital media title on the line. Jordan Grace versus Matt Cardona. Um, there's some good and bad things to say about this match, I should say. One, I'm sure nobody's really gonna buy into this match all the way. Two things. One, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of intergender matches, but it looked like they did kind of go full force right here. And at the same time, this digital media title, I say, what really significance does it really have when Jordan Grace is kind of holding the belt? And it's not really a knock on her all the way. It's like, what does this title really mean at the same time? Because most of the time it's been defended on the pre-show and whatnot. It's just been Jordan Grace holding it onto it. But there is something interesting to say about this entire match, though, and that is Matt Cardona himself, which finally it looks like he's going to be turning heel, or he just turned heel right here, because Cardona did pick up the title at one point throughout the match, but the ref took it from him. But when Jordan Grace is about to do a dive and whatnot, Cardona ended up, taking a chair and throwing it right at her face, basically kind of giving like one of these and smiling and just shrugging it off. And then Cardona ended up hitting, his finisher, the Rough Rider, and that for the win, becoming the new digital media championship. Number one, honestly, it's about time they turn him heel. Okay, face Cardona was not working out well. It sucked. It just wasn't good. Okay, it wasn't good. You were still Zack Ryder light, and when people are out there calling you mid Cardona, that's already burying him. Okay, like come on now. So I think Cardona as a face was not good. It just did not work. Nobody believed he was gonna win the world title and whatnot. He just looked like he was there to be there, and they tried to give him sympathy, but nobody gave a fuck about him, okay? Nobody didn't want him to win. So it's best to turn him heel. And yes, I know about the whole GCW thing, which I'll give him credit. Like I said before, him, being a heel on GCW, it has worked, okay? It has worked for him and whatnot. So that is not bad. I will. That's not bad for what I've seen him as a heel on GCW, and I believe he is healing NWA, and it seems to be working. So it looks like Impact finally, turning him heel, because the face thing did not work. Okay, because if the heel thing is working other places, it's best to make him a heel here, because the face thing, it just wasn't cutting. So, him going heel, that's probably the best move they could really go with Matt Cardona, because like I said, him as a face, mid Cardona, not working for you, buddy. Okay, but right after that, W Morrissey was in the back beating up random guys. He was looking for Brian Myers, trying to find him. Here's one thing I will say, and they had this with Morrissey the entire night, and Impact has done this before. Number one, stop playing background music when they're doing segments in the back, okay? It just does not sound good. They've done this several times. There have been times when the background music is more louder than you can hear people in the segment going on. Also, they need to stop playing We Own the Night so many times. I get the intro to the song, but they play this throughout the entire night, where it's backstage segments and stuff. They really need to tone that down too. But with Morrissey just looking for Myers and whatnot as he's running off and stuff, which security ended up stopping him then, as Scott D'Amore says, okay, you want a match against him? You'll get it next week in a no DQ. And he was still looking for Moose, but Moose is not in the arena, but he's somewhere in a nearby hotel and whatnot. So we'll get back to that later on. But next they went back to Tom Hannafin and Matthew Redwall still on commentary, talking about No Surrender. Jonah went against Crazy Steve. Basically a squash match right here. Nothing much to say from that. Somewhere they're going to have like Dan Lambert with him and whatnot, because we did see Dan Lambert looking in the crowd last week. So could it be going for Jonah? I'm not really sure. But Jonah just having a quick match with Crazy Steve out here hitting the splash. He was about to hit another one, but Black Taurus got in the way. So, like I said, at least Jonah's still sticking around, and they are still building him as a monster and whatnot, especially after the loss from Josh Alexander back at Hard to Kill. Like I said, I guess he's just in this little mini feud with Decay, which honestly, I don't even know where Decay is going sometimes, because they just kind of, and I like Decay, but they just kind of seem to be around and stuff, and they just been mostly trying to do supernatural things than what they once was. And I like Decay, but I'm not really feeling it right now. But Matt Cardona was leaving with the digital media belt. They asked him like, "What was that in the ring and stuff?" They said, "What would Chelsea Green think?" And Cardona says, I just had the biggest moment in my career and winning this title. But you want to talk about my wife? Why don't you go ask Jonathan Gresham how it feels to be married to a loser? Because Gresham is married to Jordan Grace and whatnot. And Cardona basically took the title and left with him. Then Madison Rain and Caleb Conley were in the back talking about the inspiration, how they were close, but once Tenille gets back, they come for those titles. The inspiration is show up having a gift for Caleb, which was a cell phone with just them on as a wallpaper. So they just were there for that. Next, Ian Riccaboni joined the commentary as Kerry Silken was there also, kind of sitting at the timekeeper's table and whatnot. Talking about the next match, which is Jonathan Gresham versus Steve Macklin. This was a bit of a rematch right here after their Pure Rules match. A good match would end in a DQ with Macklin, trying to put in like the what was he going for? Like the Boston Crab, but just would not let him go and kept punching Gresham several times. Which, Macklin, I guess this is somewhat, I don't want to protect him because I know he lost the Pure Rules. I thought he would have got a win right here, but they don't want Gresham losing like right now. Okay. I'm trying to see what Macklin's fitting into because he has been taking a couple L's here and there lately, so they got to get him back on track. But after Macklin kept hitting Gresham, the rest of the Honor No More guys came out and start jumping Steve Macklin after that. What was that? But yeah, as I was saying, no, I thought I heard a noise for a second there, but basically right after, like I said, the Honor No More guys jumped Macklin after that. Gresham did walk away, and then that helped them beat up Steve Macklin. Basically, as Gresham walked away, Gresham walked away, and Josh Alexander came out. They basically just had a little bit of a stare for a second before he walked off, headed to the ring. Josh Alexander was about to go against Vincent then, right after, which good match and whatnot. Of course, the Honor No More guys, kept getting involved. Next thing Saban, Rhino, Rich Swann came out. Once again, didn't see Eddie Edwards. Kind of makes you think sometime. Could he turn on them? I don't know. But it's kind of been, I've been seeing these hints lately and whatnot. So I'm not sure about that. Josh Alexander ended up getting the win. But next thing you know, Kenny King showed up. And I've seen last thing he was doing in Ring of Honor was facing Shane Taylor in that was an Honor No More match, I think it was, or no DQ, and he was part of La Ingobernable, but basically another version of Los Ingobernables in Ring of Honor. But Kenny King came out, he did the Royal Flush and whatnot. So now I guess he's part of the Honor No More. I was wondering who that fifth guy was gonna be in Honor No More and whatnot, because they did cut a promo after that, talking about, it's a lot of BS backstage, but they got the troops ready. It's always BS in pro wrestling. But Kenny King, introduced himself, it's, honor in pro wrestling is like honor in politics and whatnot. So he said he's going to be part of this whole 5-on-5. And, the funny thing is, Kenny King was in this company before, not that many years ago. I think Kenny King got the TNA in like about, 2012, 13, I remember watching, if I'm not mistaken. And he was there from like that time to 2015 and 16. Because the only thing I really kind of remember Kenny King doing was, I think he was X Division champion. I remember him being part of the whole Beatdown clan with MVP. It was him. That was him, MVP, Low Key, and Samoa Joe before Kenny King went back to Ring of Honor then. After this TNA run. So I do remember him being in this company. So I was surprised to see Kenny King. I didn't really think he was going to show up in this whole thing. But yeah, Kenny King is now part of the Honor No More team and stuff. So good to see Kenny King is still sticking around doing something. Morrissey was still looking for Moose. I guess he got to the hotel and he went to Moose's room and beat him up and like kept throwing his head into like the freezer, slamming it until they hit a cameraman taking him out. Once again, I wish they stopped playing the background music. It's more louder than the brawl, and I don't think they needed like music because it just kind of makes it look bad. Do we need background music for stuff? Like, come on, it just kind of comes off cheesy. Then again, they've done that many times in the past, but it does not look good when doing the background music, okay? Next, though, we did get the debut of Buhimpeter Gahar. He went against John Schuyler. I don't know much about this guy. I just know Raj Singh brought him in. Yeah, I've said before. I'm surprised Rohit Raju left and whatnot. And I don't know this Bhupinder, Bhupinder. If I'm trying to say his name right, okay. I don't know where this is going. And then like Rod Singh comes out after he won and stuff, and even Bhupinder basically looked like he didn't really want to be part of him. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said, I don't know much about the guy. He looked okay. I don't got much to say about him, but he looked okay. But I don't have an opinion on him right now. Skylar, I thought they were doing something with him, but I'm not sure what's happening to him right now. Um, they then went to Mickey James, as they did show footage of her in the Royal Rumble during her entrance, when she came out. I mean, I was kind of surprised they even showing WWE footage on Impact, to be honest. But Mickey James talked about herself being in the Rumble, and, she was proud to present Impact Wrestling during the Royal Rumble. But Tasha Steelz came, in the interview with Savannah Evans saying, basically doing an action saying, like, now I was in the Royal Rumble, and now I lost there, buddy. So, I'm going to lose that Knockouts title to the Boricua Badass right there, Tasha Steelz, and go back to my son Donovan, show him my I, sir, am a loser, okay? I could not do a good certain accent myself there, good buddy. I could sound like somebody from King of the Hill. I tell you what, right here, man, ain't no big, no, that Boomhauer there, like, I'm looking for some tap and die and some WD-40. Okay, but after the accent and stuff, Mickey says, I hope you can wrestle more than you run your mouth. They had a stare down. Chelsea Green showed up. Saying, oh, it's 2-on-2 now. Tasha basically said, listen, I didn't beat you 2 times, so I don't even know why you would have in this thing. But Mickey, thanked her and everything. Listen, we can have a match next week before, no surrender. So Green was happy, which I honestly I think Chelsea Green's about to turn also with Matt Cardona. Well, Chelsea Green's about to turn on Mickey James because they have made it very like out there that she's helping Mickey James and trying to be her friend so bad and very giddy and whatnot. So I believe in no surrender. She will turn on Mickey James and screw her out of the Knockouts title. I can see that happening, coming a mile away and whatnot, because it's like they're just building upon that. They also had a vignette for Giselle Shaw, the quintessential diva. I don't know much about her. Like I said before, apparently she came from Wildo, so I need to go back and look that up. But I heard she's good though. Masha Slamovich went against Casey Lennox. Masha Slamovich won. Basically just some squash matches. They're still going with her, building her up. So they're making her into they're making her look as powerful as they can, I can see. So they've just been giving her a lot of wins, just with squashes and whatnot. So I am interested to see what is going to happen next when they get her to a real opponent. But just some simple back to the squashes, making her look strong. Not bad. Next, Deanna Perrazzo was interviewed, basically talking about the whole state of knockouts thing, and say she doesn't care what Mickey said because she's done more in this company in the past 2 years, that she named all of her accomplishments and whatnot, and that she will have an open challenge next week for either the AAA Reign of the Reigners Championship or the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, okay? Because right now she wants to prove that she is the greatest technical women's wrestler in the world, and that the age of the virtuosa will continue. Very good promo from Perrazzo out there. But in the main event, we had Bullet Club, um, Jay White, God, and Chris Bay versus Jake Something, Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton. A good main event to end off the show and whatnot, which the Bullet Club, the other members basically held up Something so Bay can hit his finisher for the win. So, good finish from there. Bullet Club did the whole too sweet thing until Violent by Design, the Good Brothers came out and beat them up then, which they did show Bullet Club fighting back, but basically the numbers game was outdoing them and whatnot. So it looks like Bullet Club at least is going to have an important purpose kind of this time. It's not like they just bringing in. See, it was the problem last time when they kind of brought in. Like, it was cool to see Jay White when he showed up because we didn't know where it was leading. And we thought it'd be a Bullet Club Civil War, especially with Omega being there at the time and the Good Brothers and stuff. But Jay White was mostly focused on the Never Openweight title and doing Resurgence thing, which he did bring Chris Bay to Bullet Club, and that was cool. But here's the thing, you just gave him these C-Squad members, like I said, out there. Like Hikuleo, he's not much to talk on right now. And listen, I like El Phantasmo, but dude, is he going to bring that important to the Bullet Club that we send some top hitters over there to help Chris Bay? So like I said, the point that we have Jay White and God there. At least maybe we can get some promos out of them and something, because like we just don't want the Bullet Club to be there just to be there. Let's do something. Like I said, it's helping Chris Bay. Okay, like it's a upgrade from before. Like I said, we got the leader, we got the important members to the Bullet Club right here. So hopefully this leads to something big with Jay White and God here for the time being and whatnot. Since they're really not in Japan right now. So at least with Violent by Design and the Good Brothers getting involved, now it's a little bit more important since God said they were going for those Impact tag titles, which once again the tag division is really not good in Impact right now. And then once again we had to bring another tag team from New Japan to make this look interesting. Which, if you want to look at the story, it writes itself. Looking at the story and the history with these guys, but still though, like we need to build some tag teams out from Impact and whatnot instead of relying on the tag teams from different companies. Because I just want the titles off the Good Brothers at this point. Because I just feel like they're just holding them to be holding them, and we really need a new tag team that can get the belt. So I wouldn't mind if God won, but then again, it's like with Finn Juice though. Like, how long were they champions? Yes, they traveled to New Japan with the titles for a minute, but they really do anything with them? Not really. Okay, so hopefully we can see something, especially with God, and like I said, with Jay White being here, hopefully something you know important happens with that. But other than that, though, I enjoyed this episode of Impact. Really great show. I enjoyed it. Okay, a lot of things just from the main event itself. Um, Cardona turning heel. I think Green will be turning heel soon enough. The Kenny King being brought in and whatnot. And stuff with Honor No More. Like I said, wasn't a bad show. Like I said, it was a lot of stuff that was being built upon going into No Surrender. So I liked what I saw here tonight, okay? Not a bad show at all. But other than that, though, that's all I really got to say about Impact this week. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later, and peace out.